Hey everyone. Earthquake. Hey Tank. How are you today? Free Spirit, how are you? Lone Star, good evening. It's gonna be a little different tonight. It'll be daylight. Tank, I'm glad you're doing okay. Hey Sheepdog, it has been a pretty good day. Uh, so you're tired or you're getting tarred and feathered, one or the other. Not in the store fighting for toilet paper. The toilet paper is driving me crazy. Man, it is at first I thought the toilet paper thing was I thought it was a joke from one of my buddies. But there's no toilet paper anywhere around at the big stores. And it's just crazy. It's like so these guys, I took the picture for the live, of me wearing an N95 mask and it's just funny. So hopefully you guys have lots of toilet paper. If not, I'm mildly disappointed, I guess. Toilet paper is one of the easy things to prep, easy and inexpensive. It it's so funny. So my daughter, before she was on board with being prepared or working with the family for preparedness, she she's like, I don't understand, and of course she was little, and so I tried to explain to her about being ready for emergencies, and and I said, and we'll have to go out, and we went out camping, and and she had to go to the restroom, and she's like, "Where's the bathroom?" And I said, "Well, we're in the woods because we were for real camping, not we weren't in a site that there was a bathroom down the way. Not that that's not for real camping, but anyway." And she's like, "Dad, I don't want to ever run out of toilet paper." And so one of the first things that we did together to get her involved in preparedness or feeling that she was helping contribute to getting ready was we made some toilet paper buckets. And so the other day, she's in her bedroom and she says, "Dad, come here." And that I'm not called. She doesn't beckon me very often, so I ran down there and she's like, "I sure am glad I have this." And she held up a bucket of toilet paper that she's been keeping in her room for. It's been in there for years. Oh look, I'm gonna give myself the coronavirus. Hey Sonia, Bobo, have you fed the children yet? I hope you have. And if you have not, you have. Why? You have been home minutes, at least 10. I say that I don't have a clue. Oh, they're gonna go to bed hungry. Yeah, 'cause you're just the meanest person ever. Whatever. I picked up my daughter and we had to go to the doctor. And we went to the doctor and then oh, I need to too. I'm almost to the mark. But so I picked her up. We went to the doctor, and then after the doctor, before the youth group, she convinced me to go to this food truck place that has several different food trucks. And what did she get? I guess she got lao mein noodles and shrimp, and then I got some catfish. Two different trucks. It was kind of cool. It was a little pricey. I mean, I say a little. It was, ouch. Um, in hindsight, I should have taken her to Chick-fil-A. Is it the one up north by the mall? I don't know what. Yeah, I have no idea. The one up there by the mall. So, what are you guys up to tonight? Are you watching the news? Are you watching the crazy that's happening? Or are you just kind of relaxing? I mean, hopefully you're watching. Some of you are watching this. So, other than Bobo is fixing to feed his children. Yeah, dumbness. That is exactly what it is. So I'm trying really hard with all this sickness scare because people are going to get sick. Uh, mm. Bobo, that's important. I hope you talked some sense into him. Sonia. Oh, yeah, I gotta find someone to do my taxes. It's the first time I've had a business that's my website had never had any sales that weren't to myself until last year. So I gotta figure that out a little bit soon. But so the toilet paper thing, going back to the virus, because that's what's on my mind. Not to mention at work. You know, I go help sick people. That's part of what I do. And we had a patient today that was sick, and they called for help, and we get there, and they were mildly sick. I think they were perfectly capable to call their primary care physician, but they didn't want to. They're like, well, that takes too long. And so the ambulance folks took them to the hospital, to the emergency room, because they had flu symptoms. The good news is, selfish me, because I am the most important person in any emergency, is that when we got to the door, I'm walking in and I'm kind of the last one in the line because I carry a big backpack of medical stuff, and I hear, "Oh, you think you have the flu?" So I slam the brakes, and I just hang out on the porch. Now the patient was right inside the door. It wasn't that I wasn't doing my job. I could I could take two steps and be in the room with everyone else. But instead, I stayed out and held the door open for the patient, who hopped right up, had a packed bag, and went to the ambulance, which I was pretty excited about. It's always good when you get there and they have a bag packed and can walk out to the ambulance with you. It's truly an emergency. Babo, you're gonna get it. I'm Yes, you are going to get sick. Hey, Mr. T. And a lot of us are going to get sick, and it's going to stink. And the flu. Of course, I'm a big baby, and so just ask my wife. She will tell you I am a terrible sick person. But we're already prepared for it. Really, the only thing different that I have done is I rearranged um, this. Well, this month I rearranged this month's prepping schedule to rotate my bleach because it's I'd had it a while. It didn't hurt to rotate it around or get it out of storage and into use because we don't use a whole lot of bleach. And so we did that. So that was oh, squirrel, literally a squirrel. I'm distracted by. Hello, squirrel. And and then went and got some soups and kind of updated some fever, some cold and flu medicine type stuff. And just made sure we had stuff to rotate out. So if we needed more than a couple days worth, if it rotated around the family, we had plenty. And that was it. And I did that all at one. I promise. Tank, it was a squirrel. I promise. Anyway, so we had that kind of stuff, just Tylenol and ibuprofen. Hey, from Arizona, how is it out there? And but I did not go order a case of N95s. I mean, I have a box of them here, but I only got them out of storage to put one on and be silly for the opening picture of this video, and then I'm gonna make a funny TikTok later with them. So that's pretty much, and then they'll go right back in the cabinet. Um, and they're still available here. They were for days and days. They were gone, and it's fun to see what people are out of and what they're going crazy with, like the toilet paper. I don't under I don't understand. It's not a stomach virus, so it's not. I just don't understand. It has gotten a lot of attention, and I like that because it's fun. Hopefully, some of you folks have got a giggle out of it as well. And then other people have come to me with sincere questions and concerns about being not being ready. And one of them is a lifelong friend of mine, and he came out and he's like, "Hey, listen, bud. You know, yes, for holidays you've given me some. The first time I did it, I gave them some MREs, and I encouraged them to be. Of course, they're campers, so I encourage them to be prepared for that kind of stuff. And so that's good that they've kind of come around. But that some of the things they wanted to buy, I think it was Pamela. I missed it. Yeah, I mean some of the things they want that's not my friends. They're getting good advice, but you can't eat toilet paper. I don't. These people are gonna be hungry and not be able to take care of themselves if they do. If they do decide, or if they do get quarantined, then they can't eat it. You're exactly right. Tank. So I haven't heard anyone around here saying, "Oh, you know, preppers are the issue." I don't think, and I think you commented that is it's not those of us that are really into emergency preparedness that are the issue. It's the people that decided to prepare or try to prepare this week, today. They're like, "Oh no, I got to be able to wipe my butt, so I got to go, or I've got to be able to disinfect everything in my house," which I was fine, I, absolutely. However, because I have toilet paper, I don't need to go to the store because my kids don't wipe their butt. or need to wipe their butt. I go to the store so that I don't have to use the stuff that I have in my preparedness stock. I don't have to go to the store in my current location. I could not go to the store for many, many, many months, and everyone would still have a clean bottom, just like they did today. And I didn't go crazy and buy all that at one time. I a little bit here, a little bit there, and it builds up over time. And so it's not the true preppers that are causing the trouble, I don't think. As far as in my area, now I'm sure there are some of us in our mindset community that went out and said, I've got $100, and because toilet paper is selling well, I'm going to buy $100 worth of it. Not because they needed it, just because that was the thing to have. And that happens. And I have completely lost some of the comments. But I think that's what it is. I think it's people just, the first few people were like, oh, I need toilet paper, and they bought some out, and people were like, why are they buying all the toilet paper? And so they kept going. Pam, the rain is killing my canning or my planting here as well. Ozark's prepared. You are the man. It is just crazy to me what people are doing, and I would hope that they're buying, chicken noodle soup and crackers and ginger ale and Tylenol and ibuprofen and the things that really are gonna be the symptoms if somebody in their family does get sick or if they get sick. Instead of surrounding yourself by toilet paper. No, Tank, my seedlings have not. I will try to post a picture of them. I may not be in the office tomorrow. The ones at the house are different. I mean, they're already in long rectangle pots, and so for those, I've already thinned them out and spaced them out, so they'll just slide out onto the back porch. I haven't been able to plow or get the garden site ready. It's too swampy. Every time we have, like today is a wonderful evening, but it's going to rain again in the morning. And I say that like that's not everyone's problem. I know that's everyone. I don't know. And then as far as my window stuff, they're ready. Well, the tomatoes are probably ready to move out to a bigger pot. Probably in the next couple days. They're only about that tall. Um, I've long since taken the top of that little greenhouse off, and of those, that thing that I planted at work, my windowsill garden is. I think I got 10 tomato plants, and then 5 or 10 jalapeno pepper plants, and then 5 cucumber plants. And only 1 or 2 of the cucumbers have come up, but everything else is, 2 or 3 inches tall already. And so that's good. I'm excited about that. I wish I could do more at home, but I'm waiting for the big garden, and so maybe I shouldn't. I should just plan on some more things that I can shield from the rain a little bit. I don't know. I feel blessed that we have the rain. I don't mean I would rather have too much rain than not enough. And so I Tank, I'm totally with you. I wish so. In the package that I bought that with, to begin with, last year I was a little bit late, and so with the window garden, and so I was like, oh, I want to do it a little early. Well, then it came with that seed starter, like a power boost seed thing, and I tried out there, and they just shot out of the soil. Um, but I'm prepared to manage it. The good thing is I have a warm place with big glass doors that I can put them in pots and make an extra step out of it, but I'll still get to keep them and play with them. And since that's really just for fun anyway, to practice. So I'm definitely learning some lessons. And that's one of them is I planted a couple weeks too early. Like I think I could have been planting them today and still been fine. Or even in another week or two. I just saw the little chart in my farmer's almanac and on the seed packages, and I went, "Oh, I can plant them," and got excited. So if they don't do well, it's I'm the only one to blame. So Ozark, I I got a TikTok account totally, and I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. I totally because one of the police officers that I work with had had a couple funny things on there, and I made an account so that I could like his stuff and and increase the likes on his page because I do that. He's my friend, and then I found myself enjoying it a little bit, and so that I don't know what hit me today. I'm like, I'm gonna try to make something funny, and I mean, as in this isn't funny enough, so I did that TikTok, and it's fun. I actually tried to be more encouraging on that, and hey Tommy, I'm doing really good tonight, and I hope you are too. So on the TikTok app, there's the good thing about it is it builds an algorithm, which some people don't like, but I do because the things that I scroll past relatively quickly versus the things that I watch completely, it kind of gives me things that are more to what I like, and so I don't get a lot of the bikini bopping, and I don't get um, a lot of cursing. It's pretty much fire stuff and there's some prepper stuff on there, and there's camping things and then humorous things. But most of those are from people in those categories. Most of what they post, and so it's all right. The good thing is as soon as I know that I'm not going to like something, I can just zip and it's gone. But what else have I done? Oh, I was going to tell you about this. So here is my newest injury, which is funny because the injury is actually here, right here. I I had a water leak in a toilet, and it needed not only guts in the toilet, but it needed a replacement valve. Where the plumbing came out of the floor, there had been a valve there that failed, and so I went out to my city water connection because I have a water shut off under my house, um, but it's involved. I have to remove a couple boards off the porch to get to it, and so the water guys were close, and I said, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna go shut this off, change a valve, and turn it back on." And they're like, "All right, no problem. As long as we know, then it's not tampering with property." So I changed the valve. Well, first I had to get angry about it being broken and growl and grumble, and then I went and got the parts because I had parts that I could stop it from flowing anymore, but I wanted to fix it properly. So I went and got a new valve, and instead of like a solid plastic hose from the valve on the floor straight up to the toilet tank, I wanted to get a flexi hose. I, I don't know, just something I wanted to do. So I got that, and I I changed all that, and I went back out to the water meter, and it's a vault, like a hole. It's about that big around, and then the cast iron lid is almost manhole size. Not a big manhole, but it's that big around. Well, it's probably a little bigger, and it's made of cast iron. So I reach in. Oh, and I propped it up. Like, here's the ground level, and here it just sat in a root and kind of held there. I know it was stupid. And so I reach in and I turn the valve back on, turn the water on, and I kind of watch to see if the meter's rolling. And I bumped it or something, and it came down and hit me on the wrist. And that is 3 days later. I didn't even notice that the bruise is spreading back there. But, it happens. I went and they took an x-ray and told me I wasn't broken. And so I'm like, okay. And ironically, they offered medicine, but they weren't insistent when I said, oh, there's nothing I need for this, so can I just go home and file on Aflac? And so that was good. Makes me remember that it's easy for me to not pay attention when I should have. That's a mistake that should have never happened. And there's lots of them like that. That could have been a big emergency. Had the lip of that been a little sharp or jagged, had I tried to jerk my hand away, had it been something other than a cast iron lid, I don't know. I'm trying to think positive, but I don't like accidents to happen. So what do you guys got going on this weekend? I know in Northwest Arkansas it's supposed to rain a little bit. And I am going to set up at a gun show, mostly just to hang out and visit with my friends. Garden bed preparation. If it wasn't going to be raining, then I definitely got to do that. I've started the tiller. I've got it all ready. I'm blessed to have access to a tiller from my family. But I just can't. It's still underwater virtually. So I'm jealous that you get to do your garden prep. I'm probably just going to have to build a few raised beds to be able to get anything, if it continues to get anything or any of the early stuff in. I'm sure it'll dry out when it's time for other things later. It's it's not going to be terribly cold here. I say that I haven't looked. I don't pay attention. It's 75 degrees now, and so I'm sure it's going to be relatively warm. And so I guess that gopher barriers, gopher barriers is that just like, just a trench to encourage them to not keep going, or I don't know. I'll have to look that up, or I just don't know what that is. Gopher deterrent to me is either use this, because this is what Dad always did. He used like the granules to get the grubs and bugs out of the soil, and then they left. Or we use these little traps that shot spikes into the tunnels. Tommy, that is awesome. If I would, man, that's awesome. I know that project is going great. It needs lots of hands. I guess I just for some reason filled my calendar up before paying attention to the schedule for Bear. That's all I can think of, because it's on my calendar, but it's further down the list. So I guess if something didn't come of this show, then I would be there. Um, I'm always welcome. I mean, and that's everyone is. They're great missions and great people. People I miss. Haven't seen Bear in a while, and I like him. He's a cool guy. He yeah, I miss him. He's my friend. A beekeeping class. Oh, that's exciting. Man, you guys got some great things going on. Okay, Sonia, I understand now. I I guess for some reason I kind of knew, but I couldn't. I wasn't connecting the dots. Tommy, that's awesome. You you know it'll be put to great use. I and actually I had some folks that were griping, not necessarily to me. I guess it was in the comments about what uh what Grindstone Ministries is doing. And as someone who's been on a project and knows the heart of the people involved, I'm like, are you kidding me? You're griping about this isn't. I don't even remember what it was. Like something that's not for them. Oh, I don't think you should be doing this or that. I'm like, so don't do it. But don't be negative to other people who are giving their time and resources for what they believe is a good cause. I go all over the place doing things for good causes that I know some people don't like. And that's okay. You guys most certainly have things that you enjoy or that you support or you believe that are different than I. And that's wonderful. That's what makes us a great community is I can share with you things that I like and you can share with things that you like. And we grow as people. And I spent all last weekend fearing from you guys. I feared from you guys negative comments about what I was doing because there are a lot of people that don't agree with the NRA, and I don't agree with everything they do either. But I agree with it enough that I want to help support that because the people that I don't like hate the NRA, and so I'm going to give a little bit of my time and energy to help. Unfortunately, I guess it's wrong of me, but to feed that hatred, to make them scared, and every time they think of damaging the Second Amendment, they worry about the repercussions from gun lobbies. And until some of the other groups, which I do think have wonderful things about them, but until they get bigger and stronger, then I'm still going to do the NRA. And subs, every time I talk about them, I will lose subs tonight and get thumbs down tonight because I said the NRA in a positive manner, and I will continue until there's something better that I believe that I won't. But it's like even at the gun show this weekend, I'm setting up. And I've got things. I guess I've got some medical pouches, and um, I may have some bear facts. We'll have to ask him, and I hope so. I hope so. TJ, if you're listening, and then just some bulk medical supplies that I've got out there, and I think I've got some camping food, some of that dehydrated or that nitrogen packed Mountain House stuff that I'm just going to throw out on the table, totally as either conversation starters for people to go, hey, why do you have all this? So I can share with them, so I can try to educate them, and perhaps bring them into forums like with you guys, so that they see that people really do believe in being ready for emergencies, and that we can do it. And there's a community out here of people willing to help. Your guys' comments are wonderful. They're amazing. And so when I go on, well, when I go to other live streams or I watch other things and I see your comments on there, it's just awesome. It makes me proud to be part of the emergency preparedness community. And that's you guys. That's, yeah, I think you guys are great. I think you're, I really do. I think you guys are wonderful enough that I want to share with you, and you make me want to be better and work harder. Um, and I thank you for it. You motivate me more than I think you'll ever know. This morning at 4:30, I'm at the gym, and I don't go after 5 because there are people. What's the fat kid doing at the gym? He should be somewhere else. And it bothers me. Those stairs may not be anything like what I read them, but I read them into, oh, they're looking bad at me, or what is he doing here? Nobody's ever said that to me in words, but I can tell the difference between someone who's encouraging me, and all right, you're doing great, or can I spot you or whatever, versus walking around me or and walking by. But you guys encourage me enough to not really worry about that. So there's a car directly out in front of me who's just staring at me. It's kind of funny. So the gun show this weekend, who did I miss that from? Tommy, the gun show is in Northwest Arkansas at the Fayetteville or the Washington County Fairgrounds. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I am not taking off work. So I will be there on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday they don't open up till 9, and all my men's group stuff is early in the morning, so that's good. I like small group connections, Tank. It's the group connections are probably, in my heart, one of the most important things that come out of it. I spend a lot of time going to meet and greets and meetups and classes and that kind of stuff, just to see if there's somebody that I want to spend more time with, or someone that may want to spend more time with me, and get to know each other, so that we can do that. So that we can form small groups. Oh, that person texting me should be watching this live stream. Particularly that person. Oh. Sorry, guys. I can't see you. Other than gardening and trying to reach out to new preparedness minded people, and even trying, I guess the most thing is, I'm trying to pay attention if they're really just doing it to do something, or if they really want to be prepared. And that's really hard and really unfair to try to be that way. well, because everyone needs a chance, but I really do try to see those are working hard, that really want to be prepared for the long term and not just not how to handle the flu. Miss Hermit Hill, I do not know. I'm not a ham yet. I've actually been trying to look for because around here there was a couple radio clubs that did like help you prep for the test. I've got radios and the Desire, and I've been doing there's this app that Prepping in Progress gave me or told me about, that I've been doing the pre-tests or these section tests to try to get, above passing grade, which I'm doing pretty good at. So I'm kind of waiting to find out when to take a test. And so maybe I'll know more about that soon. Oh, welcome back, Bobo. You don't think I noticed you're texting people there, do you? And if you want to text him back, I cannot certify or issue cards for CPR. I decided to not keep up with that instructorship because it was a giant pain in the rump. I thought you were sending the kids to bed hungry. So, Tank, that the radio net that you're talking about, is it like an Arkansas net? Is it a region net? What kind of net is it? And then is it and is it a net that people in what parts of Arkansas or what parts of the country are they going to be able to get that on the simplex net? That's a lot of questions. I understand. Hey, let's talk about prepping. How are you today? So radio nets are wonderful. Now I've just been learning, so um, I'm just learning, and there's so many people that we talk to. Tank knows a lot. Steven and Gordy know a lot. Ozark Geek knows a lot. They're wonderful. Be prepared for anything. How are you? A potato cannon. Um, Sheepdog, if you're talking about the radio apps, it's helped me a lot because what I'm doing is I just go through the sections and I take that section test, and so I started with it showing me the question and just the right answer. And so I'd read the question and the right answer. And I would do that 10, 20 times per section until I could pop up and put the right answer there, you know. Um, and I'm almost to 70% or better on all of it. Some of the technical stuff is difficult for me because I don't see it, and it makes it hard. I have a lot of good people that are helping me explain. My Mag Group's radio guy is really good at it, and he's very patient, and that's an important thing for me. So Tank, I bought a book. Now You're Talking, maybe the book that I got. I think that's it. Or you Now You're Talking to, or I got it from our local Radio Shack. I had it for a long time. It sat on the bookshelf. I'd get half a chapter into it, three quarters of a chapter into it, and I would start seeing wave diagrams, and I would get lost. Hey Matthew, how are you? Matthew, come see me in the morning. I don't remember what for, but you need to come see me in the morning. Oh, now you guys are talking about spud guns. I don't know. Okay, so Tank, that manual is one that I think Steven sent me a Amazon link to get. I just haven't gotten it yet. I really forever for a long time because I am on the radio over and over and over and over every day. My full time job, I'm on the radio all day. My part time job, I'm on the radio all the time. And so I'm like, oh, I don't need a ham license. Blah 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 blah. I'm wrong. I know I need it. I know I need it because I want the capabilities to pick up the radio. I have one there, and then I have two handhelds here and two handhelds there that I want to be able to pick up, and I want to be able to communicate. I want to have frequencies and knowledge so that when I'm traveling, when I'm home, and I'm whatever, I can pick up the radio and I know I can call people and get information and perhaps even get help. And I'm really ashamed to call myself, a prepper and to have the equipment and have waited so long before I got energized to take the test and to pass it. Or, I mean, if I take it, I want to pass it. I guess everyone does. Nobody wants to just take the test and not pass it. Oh, now you guys are going to have to make videos of it. Man, what was I? Oh, so we're just a couple weeks into um, the spring prepper challenge of taking a class or teaching a class, and I've had a couple people comment, but not really. Most people have not, and so I don't know. I thought that one would be a really easy one, um, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's different. So, well, the chainsaw class, Matthew, was um, the chainsaw series was a blessing that I got to work with Kevin from the Methodist Church Arkansas disaster team, and then him being willing to share that information with me, and I drug Bobo along, and that was really interesting. And then the great thing is it also caused me at work talking with him, totally selfish, because I was working on figuring out a chainsaw safety focused first aid kit that I've always wanted to make, and that's what I was doing when I was learning with Kevin. And then next week is I have an arborist coming to my fire department to teach. Um, it's basically a 4-hour chainsaw class, but we're going to go out, and he spotted several trees that we get to take down, and people, because we use saws all the time, but we don't usually cut round things. unless the people heat with wood, and some of them do, but for the majority of them, they don't know how to use a chainsaw. So I like that type of video. Um, it's kind of it's something that I put on my list of ideas. Some of these I've already done. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, the best time to post is something I was going to do a poll on. I still probably will. And it's, it's, I don't know. I do it at 8 in the morning is when I schedule them, or my YouTube videos at 8 in the morning. And then my Patreon videos come out as they're on my heart. Hey Chipper, how are you? I don't know what to tell you about the notifications. Oh, earthquake. Sorry, guys. Um, and I want to expand a little bit on my homestead firefighting videos. I did those. I guess I did them a few years back. And I want to do better examples. Because I got out and I did some raking and I had a blower and I had tools, and so I tried to demonstrate what a fire line was, but I didn't do it to the best of my ability. And so the examples were not the greatest. And now that I'm learning to do some new things, it'll be easier because I can take still pictures and video clips and then work on it because I've learned to do voice overlay. So I can show the video in the picture of me, using a blower or a chainsaw or, the power equipment, and not have to deal with the noise of volume of it. We can be watching that and I can be explaining why I do that. And so that's something that I'm going to work on. There is, and Baldo, if you're still in here, I need some help. There is a preparedness meet and greet, and it's actually it may not be in the community section yet. In April in Northwest Arkansas. It's not my event, but I am going to be there and participating with some great folks. And I'll try to get the date and post it. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's put on by a great guy with a great team. His mag group is pretty amazing. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'll get you more information. I want to say April 21st, but I don't know. But I sent it to Bobo and put on his calendar. And, no, let's talk about prepping. No, those comments are for everyone. Rock on. If you guys got something you're willing to talk about, I promise I can keep rattling on with what's on my head. And what you guys say helps me direct my thoughts and helps me share on things. So, no, comments are for everyone. And if it goes on things like that, it's good. Everyone's enjoying that. I just don't have anything to add about it because I don't know much about them. So, rock on. Wednesday nights kind of are rambling. I made a list tonight of things I wanted to talk about, and then some of them just weren't. I wasn't feeling it. Well, and that's okay. I have been trying to get out and do more outside this seat videos, and I've had some fun. I did, of course. Looking for bargain preps is something I do every day, and I don't make videos. Tank, you're killing me. I got the list right there. The squirrel didn't get in the truck. And so I'm try to. I don't make videos for every time I consider something a bargain prep. Um, Mostly because if it's budget time, then I'll talk about it because that's something. Okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find cleaning supplies, or I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find 3 meals or whatever I'm gonna do. So let's talk about prepping. I agree, and I'm agreeing from a point of I am just as guilty as everybody else, or a lot of creators. Not everyone, but a lot of creators is it's real easy to jump in and talk about something that everyone else is talking about, because that if that's what we're watching, if that's what we're reading, if that's what we're hearing, then it's real easy to fall in that trap. Even when I started the video today, it was totally a fad. Totally a fad. That is not even relevant. Those masks are not going to save anyone from getting this virus, and so I should feel ashamed for doing that. Except that I did say right away it was kind of funny, and I was doing it to be silly. But I do. I find myself warning. Like I'll watch a video or I'll listen to a podcast, and I'll be like, man, I have so much that I could add to that, or I could say in a different way, or things like that. And so I try to think of it like that, and so I fall into that trap. Let's see. So the do-it-yourself hand sanitizer. There's some folks trying to do that up here, and there was a meeting with some healthcare professionals that I didn't get to go to the meeting, but they filmed it, and so I got to watch it. And the important thing to remember is if you're trying to make your own hand sanitizer, then make sure that the concentration of alcohol is enough to actually do the job. Sheepdog, thank you so much for popping in. Have a great evening. Yeah, you're awesome. You bless me every day. But yeah, so you want to make sure, like, the one of the recipes that they were talking about was um, they started with only a 50% alcohol solution. Well, by the time you add, they added aloe to it and a couple other things, so they're reducing that already. And 50% alcohol or less was not very effective. And so be careful. Don't I mean enjoy it, learn something new, and practice all you want, but realize that you got to keep that alcohol concentration or that percentage of alcohol in that hand sanitizer enough to really kill the germs. Another thing that drives me crazy is um, that when people use the hand sanitizer, they put it on their hands and then they start doing this to get it to dry. Well, that it needs a few seconds. It needs some time to kill those germs. It's just like when people are getting ready to start an IV, we wipe the area down with an alcohol wipe, and then we start fanning it to dry it out. Well, all we're doing is drying the alcohol and moving replacement germs right in there doing, we basically did nothing. And so, and that's totally an opinion. It's just for me, people saying, oh, they're not getting clean. Stay survived. So 90% alcohol does evaporate pretty fast, but if you mix it in with some other items, then I'm sure you can reduce it a little bit. But I don't know. That's something I probably have a resource to check about that, and I'll try to do that this week. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a note. Matthew, why don't we talk about it? Um, well, I mean, I can do a video on it, but keeping foods out in the temperature is never ever a good thing. It heat drastically reduces the lifespan of your stuff, and so some things you have to put out. You know, you got to put it outside. You got to put it in the shed. I understand that. I I have things outside in the shed too, but their life expectancy isn't going to be as much. Their likelihood of spoilage is certainly going to be more. Um, and it depends on the fluctuations in temperature too. That's yeah, that's another good video idea. That does not mean, Matthew, that I'm buying you dinner tomorrow night. Oh wait, you're not coming to guys' night because you're going to do something with your boss. Like he's more important than your friends. I mean, he is important. I'm just messing with Matthew. I'm trying to catch up, and I got behind. I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, I guess I should have just been reading all along. You guys are smart. It it's been a great week. I hope you guys are having a good week. I know it's kind of in the middle. It gives it I've said that a lot tonight. I think it's because I'm focused. Uh, and I'm not focused where I should be. I guess I'm hurting a little bit. I'm whiny. We did a lot today, and like I said, I started this morning really early. I'm gonna do it tomorrow too. I hope. I did have an opinion. I got something, and I got it given to me, and I may make a video on it. Depends on what I think of it. So it is a little water bladder, and this is only 500 milliliters or 500 cc's. So there it is. It's got the little twist sports lid on it, but it seems really tough. I mean, I really abused it. And it's got a latch on it. Um, it's who made this? It was given to me at SHOT Show. Hydra Pack, but 500 cc's or milliliters, they're the same. And then as I use it, then it just goes flat. And so I'm kind of, so, and I don't think the lid's big enough for a whole lot of creek work, getting dirty water. But I don't know. I haven't tried it on my Sawyer system or anything yet, but that's something that's kind of next. So where have I? So the places that I found, just that I've normally been traveling this week, is like Atwoods and Tractor Supply, Farmers Co-op. All those places have had everything everyone else says they're out of. Not in the same volume that you see at Sam's or at Walmart or Costco. Or Werewolf Survivor, how are you? Or Survival. Nice to see you this evening. There are lots of places that still have that kind of stuff, and I noticed um, Bobo and I went to Lowe's, and I don't remember why we went. Nonetheless, we were looking for just totally out of curiosity about for like painting masks, which is what these ended up being. Just N95 painting masks, and I wanted to see if the better reusable things were better, because this when I was in the hospital, we would use this mask for one. I mean, if we had one patient, we were using it. We could utilize this for the shift, but it's disposable. And some of these are like $5. This particular one is only about a $3 one. And so I was thinking, and I've been doing research on the painting style canister masks, the half face. I'd love to have full face, but they're 130 out and up for the full face ones. But the half face, which you could wear a pair of goggles or safety glasses, to keep droplets out of your eyes, were about $40. And the canisters, the fabric, the squishy, the filter part of it, were inside inside a hard plastic framework. And so I'm trying to get some solid information on, if I take that off and I disinfect it with like a Lysol wipe or spray, or is that something that I can use over and over and over and over for multiple patients, because the filter's contained and I can wipe down the outer surface. And so I'm hoping that that is a viable thing to do. And sometimes people's driving drive me crazy. And then that would mean, instead of buying a box of, masks that were, well, that box was $20, I think. I actually got it for work, so I didn't pay for it, so it really didn't matter to me. But um, yeah, welding stores have good filter masks. Granger Supply has lots of them. So let's talk about prepping. That's kind of what I'm trying to find out. Is I know that once you remove the canister, you're not supposed to reattach it. I'm trying. I don't know. I guess I don't really know what all I'm trying to find. I'm just in hopes that you're able to use them more than one time. And so I've got my feelers out, and I've been doing some reading. So um, well, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, are you, Dennis? Are you talking about this mask here? This is just a basic 3M N95 basic mask. Comes in a box of 10 of them, I think, 20 of them. Oh, so that wasn't too bad. Oh no, so the other one is, I haven't purchased it yet because they're $40, and I want to make sure that it will be, that it could possibly be deconned. I know the mask can, but the replace the canisters, because my goal is I would love to be able to mask up and do patient care, or the thing that's on my head is I seldom really talk about the end of the world as we know it type stuff because there's so many more emergencies. But in this scenario in my head is, okay, there are people that are coming to our group, coming down the road. We need to separate them and to make sure they're not sick. And so it would really be beneficial if I could use the same mask, for a whole day, or maybe even 2 or 3, however long that would be safe. And so my hopes are that before I buy a $40 mask, that I have to use $10 filters every day versus a $10 mask. Wow, that lady just about smashed into the front of me. So Matt, that's kind of what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm looking at. And let's talk about prepping. I'm talking about not. Oh, sorry about the earthquake. I'm talking about leaving the canister in place until they need to be replaced. So, like taking the mask off and putting it, hanging it on a clean hook, disinfecting it, wiping it down, going about my other business, and when I come back to check on the patients before I go into the dirty room or the hot room or wherever, then taking it back on, putting it back on, and and going back in and taking care of people and trying to get it to go that way. And it's just a thought. I could be way off base. I know we use them in certain environments, in emergency services, but most of what we use there are a fully self-contained breathing apparatus, which is great, except the limitations on air and being able to fill bottles again will be difficult, if not virtually impossible for me to do. Not to mention they're $3,000 to $7,000 a unit for the ones that we use, and I don't want to risk that, or I don't want to pay that much. Sorry, I was checking on the youth group kids. Anyway, so that's kind of what I've been thinking about. And so fit test, see, and Dennis, that is something that people don't realize, that these come in sizes. This is, what size are you? Do do. I don't know. It size is on here somewhere. And so a lot of people don't realize that you have to have a fit test. And to get a fit test kit, number one, you kind of have to know how to use it. You can't just throw the bag over and squirt the crap in there, the smell bad stuff. And I mean, they've got pretty good directions, but most preparedness groups aren't going to fit test, that I know of, but they should. I mean, so a decon tent, um, because they do make them that have a hot part, or they call it the hot zone part of the tent, and then a warm zone and a cold zone is outside the tent. And so you can get in there and you can observe the patient and you can do some things like that. But they're really expensive and too expensive. And so I'm trying to think of a different. Our current plan is we have a camp area set up with relief buckets with whatever they might need in the buckets. Pots and pans stay there. Their laundry stays there. You know, all that stuff stays in that camp, and we observe them from a distance. We help them from a distance. But if they're sick, I'm gonna. If they need medical help, if they need somebody to help take care of them, I want to be able to do that. And so I currently have all the Tyvek and booties and gloves, and I've even got the little hood for underneath, and masks, and different types of masks because you don't always need the same masks. And you can put a mask on them, and that help in a great way too, as long as you're not going into an area that they've been in and they've contaminated, not intentionally, just happens with them touching things and coughing and Anyway, I'm totally rambling about isolation precautions. I'm trying to build a better mousetrap, I guess, for on a budget. Oh, whew. So werewolf survival life? Probably not. I bet I'm just on a different page. And I've been blessed to have training in hazardous material decontamination and medical infection control. And so that makes all the difference. Wow, I've drug you guys on for a long time. It it's important to me. It's kind of, and this whole virus scare has me thinking of, you know, it's taking care of people. I want to be able to take care of people, but I have to be able to take care of myself first. And so that's what I'm thoughts on. So I have gotten Set Apart Homestead's video, but I have not watched it yet. Um, Actually, I think I'm 3 behind on him. He is actually um, one of 3 only. There's only 3 Patreon channels that I follow, and his is one of them. And then I love his YouTube stuff. He works hard at it. I miss him. Um, for a while, I got to communicate with him pretty regularly, and I'm the one that kind of grew apart. So, well, Tommy, have a good night. I'm fixing to go. I could ramble on for a long time. Um, and see, I got another 30 minutes to talk out of M. Dennis's comment. Infrastructure is where my worry is. Guys, you guys are awesome. Everyone have a great night, a great week. Um, I have no memory of what tomorrow morning's video is, but I don't remember. I think it's about coats, but don't get me to lying. You guys have a great night. I'll catch you guys later.